like Marilyn Monroe.
Hey team, Lilia Tarawa here. Now, in the last episode with online business skills training, we talked about personal brand, and we talked about how personal branding is a way that you can package and market yourself as though you were a household name, a brand, or an icon. And we talked about why that is so important, because it allows you to stand out in a really busy and noisy marketplace and be an unmistakable voice. Now, in this episode, we're going to quickly go into some other areas that you can start to tap into in order to clearly define your personal brand and become even more aware of it for yourselves. So this is just going to quickly cover strengths and weaknesses, and knowing your strengths and knowing your weaknesses, understanding and accepting your weaknesses, and also understanding and utilizing your strengths. So the reason that this is super cool is because that when you tap into your strengths, you actually can begin to shine. You actually can begin to stand out as being truly brilliant and truly genius at something. Because honestly, with our weaknesses, sometimes we've got to let those just go and realize that, hey, you know what, I'm never ever going to be good at that. So that's cool, I accept that. Let's just focus on the areas that I'm great at. And also what you can begin to do is delegate the areas that you're not so great in and thrive, or spend more time on areas where you can express your strengths, and that way you're going to be much more successful and build momentum a lot more quickly. You're also going to be a lot more fulfilled spiritually and mentally, because you're doing things that you know you are good at. You'll feel confident, you'll feel alive, you'll feel engaged, and work won't feel like work. So how do we figure out what our strengths are? The first thing that you really need to do is ask yourself, what do I love doing? What am I doing when I feel the most engaged, the most alive, and the most in flow? And write that down on a piece of paper. So I hope you've got a paper and pen as you're watching through this episode. Write that down on a piece of paper. When are the times that I feel fully engaged? What am I doing during those times? The second thing you need to do is go to people, friends, family, people who are close to you, people that knew you, especially people that knew you when you were a child. And you can ask these people, mums and dads are great for this. You can ask these people, hey mum, what did I love doing when I was a child? What was I really great at? What frustrated me the most? And what this is going to do is it's going to start to give you self-reflection, so that you can look back on your life and see, what were you already great at as a child, and what were you naturally gifted in, and what areas were you already quite weak in, what upset you, what frustrated you. And ask these people, ask them, what are the 3 things that I am great at? What are my strengths? How have I contributed to your life? And how do I make you feel when I'm around you? And what that's going to do is actually give you a really good understanding of how you're making people feel and how you're energetically showing up in the world. Now, how that applies to your personal branding is you'll start to see some trends. When you talk to 1 person, 2 person, people, 3 people, you'll start to see that a lot of people say the same things. If you just ask them, what are my biggest weaknesses? How do I deal with adversity? These are also some really great questions. As you begin to ask them that, you'll start to see that their answers will have trends in, and you can begin to use those trends and use the feedback that you're getting to define exactly what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. And what that's going to do is, when it comes to your personal brand and how you're marketing yourself, you can market your strengths. You can market the things about yourself that you are gifted in. You can really delve into and turn the dial up on those things that make you truly shine. And that, my friends, is how you stand out in a world of noisy social media. If you like this episode, please comment, please like or share, or send it to a friend who needs to hear this today. I hope this has been helpful. This is Lilia. Thank you.
Like Marilyn Monroe.